You're listening to TalkTainmentRadio.com.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of TalkTainmentRadio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
Hey, hello, this is Dr. Bass Claude Smith with Evangelist Patricia Smith, my wife, and welcome to Stairway To Heaven and Words of Wisdom. Our topic today is trial and error, and we'll probably get to, for those who want to enjoy, get into the conversation, call us at 1-877-923-9766. That's 1-877-923-8766. Just Smith, would you like to say hello, please?
Yes. Thank you for having me here today, Dr. Pace.
You're welcome.
Okay.
And well, this is still called Words of Wisdom, part of Stairway To Heaven, and we're going. My wife and I are going to work as a team. Now, if you love the show, like the conversations, what we'd like to do, just give us a call, 1-877-932-9766. The other part of Stairway To Heaven will be on the next couple more weeks. But meanwhile, we're going to listen to some words of wisdom, and we're going to listen to find out what about our wisdom. So, do you mind take it away?
Okay. Well, that's great. I do believe that the Lord has said that without wisdom, it's impossible to really please Him if we don't have our wisdom. And I'm going to define wisdom again. I know I did it in the last show that we had, and I'm going to do it again to give some people some clarification of what wisdom is. Wisdom is a principle thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all, get an understanding. I believe that God gives us all the wisdom, but we're going to talk about the trials and error of it, that why people do not use the wisdom. And the concept that I have come to, and if anybody want to call in on it, they might have an idea, but what God had gave me in my spirit is you have to be able to listen and to hear when He's speaking to you, because our God is a gentle God. He doesn't do anything rough and hard. So you might miss it, but He's always given us wise counsel for our lives. He gives us wise counsel with our children. He gives us wise counsel with our marriages, on our jobs, in any kind of relationship, because God is a relational God. He believes in relationships, but He also gives us to know that we need wisdom to have those relationships. And if we hear Him as He's speaking to us, then we can live a good and a wonderful, prosperous life. But a lot of times, Dr. Pace, I believe that we get into ourselves, and that's the biggest problem with getting into ourselves, what we feel we need to do. But God, when He came down on earth to forgive us of our sins, He said, okay, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, I have it for you. So why not use the wisdom that He gave us? Why not use the interpretation of what is supposed to be done in your life and in your children's life?
Well, that is true, because I do have a 39-year-old son and a 4-year-old grandson. And sometimes, like I tell my son, your son is watching you, giving him words of wisdom, which I know he does. And he calls me, and I give him some type of wisdom too about what I do. But most of the time that I get by myself and I get thinking about things, there's times when I get so upset with things, I want to forget me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
And that's the way I usually do. And if I don't, and I get to the point where I get all upset about me, and I just tear away and be by myself for a while, and just don't, scatter away from people. But if I go back and there's thoughts, good thoughts come to my mind, come to me, and good wisdom. So I try to go for that wisdom, and 9 times, sometimes I think it won't work, but 9 times it looks like it forces itself on me, and it does work.
Yes, true. That's true. Well, I went to the Bible in Proverbs 9:10. The Bible says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, not to be afraid, but to reverence him. You asked the question, well, how do you reverence God? And reverence God means to give deep respect for him, respect for what he wants you to do, respect for other people, respect for all things. If you respect a person, you've heard years ago where people say that she didn't give me no respect, so I'm not giving her no respect, or he, whichever the situation may be. But God wants us, he don't want us to be fear of him. He don't want us to be scared of him. He just wants us to respect him and to give him reverence on everything that we do, knowing that he is God. And he is. He's the manufacturer. He's the one that made us. He's the one that gives us all that we need. And when we go to him, he's so excited when you ask him and come to him. He knows your voice. He knows your voice, and he'll say, oh, she's calling me, or he's calling me. So he really loves it when you call on him and respect him. And so he doesn't want you to fear it. And wisdom, to me, I believe as years go on, the age that I am, I've learned so much over the years, because I was the type of person that listened to people who are older than me, who've probably been there and like you say, done that, and I kind of listened. I'm not saying I was always did what they wanted me to do, but I did listen. But I noticed as I'm getting older, I can still hear some of the things my mom have told me over the years of what I needed to do, and believe it or not, I'm paying for those things because I didn't listen to her. Okay, so it's a whole gamut of what you need to do, and to not to fear God or be afraid, but to listen to wise counsel. And a lot of people say, well, that person's older, they must have a lot of wisdom. Well, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But God would direct that to you too. You may have a person that may be in their 60s, 70s, 80s years old, and they may give you some wrong counsel, but you need to go to God and say, well, God, was that okay with you, what that person said, and seek his face for the answer.
Yeah, that is true. You can seek face for God's answer. Well, I'm having a hard time talking. And it's just that when you do seek the answers and you go to God and ask him the answer, well, what can I do? I'm kind of where to help me with some type of wisdom or some type of way to straighten this out. Because if I don't, I'll be lost. And he does come and help you straighten it out.
That's true.
And after all, when you do learn all of this and there's a lot of things that happens that is as you get straightened out, it's smoothed out. And there's times when I get so frustrated with myself, and I have to keep quiet, and then God moves in and tell me, well, you don't need to do that. Just I'll help you out, which he has helped me out in many cases. Mm-hmm. So I hope that the wisdom I got today and the wisdom I got anytime, it'll be with me for a long time and be with me always.
That's so true. That's so true, Dr. Bass. A lot of times, like I said, we want to do things on our own, but God has our good, and he has everything good for us. So if we listen and be careful, and when we listen, to listen with intent to what he's saying to us, and understand it. And if you don't understand the first time, go back and ask him. Say, God, I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't understand what you mean by that. Can you clarify it? He will do that for you. So we have to understand. And also in Proverbs chapter 11, it says, "For by me your days will be multiplied. Years of life will be added to you if you do that, if you use wisdom." You see these people that live to be a long time, they had to have some kind of wisdom to even be lived that long. So he said he will multiply your years. Just like with the 10 Commandments, he said, honor thy mother and thy father, and your days will be long on this earth. All that's true. But we have to understand to do that. And Dr. Bass, I do believe in a marriage, if you don't have the wisdom on how to deal with your spouse and your spouse to deal with you, that marriage is going to fall apart, because somebody's going to say, you know what, I can't take this anymore. I'm getting out. I'm leaving. I'm done. But you got to use wisdom. And I believe God had a purpose when he said, I'm going to set man for the head of the household. So that man needs to do his part in order for that woman to do her part, because she ain't going to want to do it. I mean, that's just real. We're being real today. She's not going to want to do it if you're not going to do what you're supposed to do. So every young man, I tell my son-in-laws and my sons, you're the head of that household. You use wisdom, and she'll follow right with you. But if you don't, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. It's not going to work. So be alert, be smart, listen, and you watch what God would do for that marriage. And for your teenage kids, your kids that are still little, give them wise counsel. Talk to them. Let them know that you're in control as a mother and as a father.
Yeah, that is true. My son and his kids and his wife, they got everything under control, and my daughter and their children, they got everything under control. I also like to say that sometimes we need to listen and learn wisdom and talk things out to get it together, before it falls apart. And that's what I'm saying. But when you don't do that, everything will fall apart. You got some people that are together, not meant to be together. You got some people that are, and some people that there's a lot of problems with when that happens. A lot of problems comes up, and you got sometimes the spouse is there, and he just let the green grass fool him. That's what I'm saying. Is trying to say. And when the green grass fool you, it ain't pretty. It's not pretty. It may look pretty now, but it won't be pretty when you get over there. So you got to sit back and think of wisdom, how to handle this, and how to do this, and how to do that. And once you get that following wisdom together, you will always, it'll come true. It will always help you out. Just take one. Don't have to be all at one time. Just take one of them one at a time. I'll take this one today, do that one tomorrow, do that the next day. So just be on your P's and Q's.
That's very true. That's very true. I believe that when God said, Adam, you're in charge, you're the head, then a lot of, not all, I'm not blaming all, some men don't want to take that responsibility, but you're supposed to take that responsibility. And what the thing that gets me when I'm finding out over the years with different people, any smart man, now I'm saying this, they're going to hear this, any smart man, if you're smart, you'll recognize when God bring you that helpmate and she's in your corner, you need to be smart enough to recognize that. And if you don't recognize it, shame on you. Because the Bible tells us that when you find a good thing. When God gives you favor for a good wife, you've got favor with God. But if you don't do that, you watch what happens. Things start dwindling down. Why my bills ain't being paid? Why this ain't happening? Why that ain't happening? Why is my health going down? All of it adds up. God is watching everything. So young men out there, if you're just getting married, you got that spouse, that helpmate, come on. Listen to what God is telling you how to do that person. Don't think about your feelings or, well, what's going on with me and you're not pleasing me and you're not doing that. You do your part. I found out over the years, most women, if they got a good man, they will stand by your side. They will stand there with you, do anything that needs to be done to make that relationship work. But some people don't see it, and it's a sad situation. And then you wonder why you see a lot of these homeless men and men walking the street, and they ain't got nobody, don't know what to do with their lives, because they didn't want to step up to the plate. So young men, step up to the plate. If you got a loving, godly woman, step up to the plate.
Yeah, that is true. Yes, a lot of young men out there that got nice ladies, they should step up to the plate, regardless of what the condition it is. I know a couple now that this young man had problems, tried to pull himself together, and he did. I'm so proud of him. He pulled himself together, and because he had a good wife that stood behind him, and she pushed him until he got where he is today. Mm-hmm. So he learned. So he is doing. Another young man is just found out he's just getting started. And I'm looking for him to keep straight, hold his head up and keep strong, because he'll make it. He will always make it. Right. And see, so same for the ladies. You get these guys, some of you ladies get these guys, get somebody good, you don't care nothing about them. So you get the thing that, well, I'm going to use it. And when he runs away from you, you start crying. I'm saying, don't start crying, because you have to look at yourself first.
That's right.
So you got to watch to see who you with.
That's right. And I believe that, I love that song by Michael Jackson, The Man in the Mirror. We got to look at ourselves. We got to look in the mirror and see what we're doing and stop pointing fingers. Stop blaming this, my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, my uncle, my cousin. Stop blaming other people. It's you. Look in the mirror and see what you can change. When you look in that mirror and see what you can change about yourself, then all the other stuff will work. It works. It really works. So I believe that a lot of people, when he made that song, it was just awesome. The way he put the words to that song, because it's very true. You can only change. You can't change nobody, but you can change you. But you got to look in the mirror and see what the faults are. See what you're not doing that's right that can help the situation.
Yes, the song "Man Look in the Mirror" was written by a young lady for Michael Jackson. And she, to give you a history on it, she said she wrote the song and sent it to Michael, and she thought sure Michael wasn't going to sing it. And next thing you know, she heard it on the radio that he did sing it. So, but I'm so proud of that song that when it came out, it's actually telling a story about yourself. Once you look in the mirror, you look in the mirror, you can tell a whole lot of stories come out on yourself. You wouldn't believe what's going on.
Right.
So that's when you need that wisdom. As long as you got that wisdom, you're okay.
That's right.
Another thing is that. We all have to get together and learn to love each other and follow that wisdom, because everybody out there ain't what it is and ain't what it's for. But we have to study it. I got some friends now that they associates. They're not close to me. They just associates, and try to help them out. They would cuss me out from one end and the other line, so I left them alone. So they'll find out one day what I've been talking about.
Okay. And also in Proverbs 9, verse 12, it says, if you are wise for yourself, and if you are scoff, you are with error. Scuff. What is scuff? Scuff is dragging. Scuff is scraping the surface, not being grounded. Scraping, just hitting the surface. So when they say just hitting the surface, you hear God is giving you wise counsel, but you say, well, I'm going to do this little bit of it, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. In order for it to work, you got to do the whole thing that he's telling you to do. If he say do such and such and such, do it all. Don't just do a little bit of it. Do it all in order for it to work. Otherwise, you'd be scraping and you'd be trying to figure it out, and you're just going from this place to that place and that place to that place. But actually, get into what he's saying, because he is going to give you wise counsel. The thing that I don't understand is why people don't understand that God is not going to give you something that's going to hurt you. He loves you. You're the image of him, and he wants you to have all you can have. Right? Or people say, oh, I'm waiting till I get to heaven and get mine. No, he said you can have life abundantly and have it right here. But you got to listen, and you got to be wise, and you got to understand the counsel that he gives you.
Yeah, we all need, everybody needs counseling. I'm not just going to say all of us need counseling once in a while. I don't care what it is, because a counselor is going to tell you things. If it hurts you, that's too bad. Because for the good. I have been counseled and brought tears to my eyes. And that straightened me out and got me going where I should be. It helped me out so far. It helped me I had a real good friend of mine, and the late Bishop Michael J. Mangrum was my mediator, and he taught me a whole lot. He talked to me, took me on his wing, and in fact, he took everybody on his wing. He has done a beautiful job. He did beautiful. He left a legacy here, and he was the guy that help people everywhere they go.
That's good.
But like I miss him. He's like a big brother to me, but I miss him. But anyway, we sometimes find us a mentor or a pastor or somebody, deacon, somebody. Don't even have to be in those categories. Somebody's out there willing to give you words to wisdom, because the people older than all of us. They can tell us more about things that we don't know.
That's true.
It pays to listen to them, and it pays to find out what goes on.
That's true. That's true, because you figure an older adult, like I said, they know a lot. They've been through some stuff, and I do believe that we as older people, we need to listen and be concept to what they're saying, and hear what they're saying and do what they're saying with wise counsel. Older people have a habit of not want to share, but you have to understand, a lot of these people don't know, and you have to tell them and say things to them. A lot of times they don't want to hear it, but I used to tell my kids, you're going to hear it anyhow. You hear it from me, or you're going to hear it from the street. So my job as a mother, my job as a grandmother, I'm not saying pound it in you, but I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share my wisdom and the things that I've been through. I mean, I wasn't this grandma all the time. I was 16, I was 17, I was 8. I know what you're talking about. Been through some stuff, done some stuff. So I'm going to share, the things that I did, and you don't have to even go through a lot of stuff that I went through, because I'm going to say, hey, that's a red flag right there. Don't do that. And listen, and you watch how much easier your life can be. Also, in Proverbs 8, and it says, the words of my mouth are righteousness, nothing crooked or perverse. So the words of my mouth are righteous and nothing crooked or perverse when it comes to wisdom. There's nothing crooked or perverse about none of that. Okay, there are two types of wisdom: God's wisdom and the world's wisdom. God's wisdom is innocent, it's gentle, it's reasonable, it's peaceful, loving, impartial, and sincere. But the world's wisdom is earthly, is unspiritual, and is demonic. It's unspiritual and it's demonic. Yes, I know it's rough down here. Believe me, it's rough. I see it every day. And to me, this is my opinion, it seems like it's getting worse. So while we're still down here, while we're here on this planet called Earth, let's listen to counsel of God. Let's listen to the wisdom of God on how we could direct ourselves in order to continue to be here until He take us home. until he take us home. I don't know about you guys, but I like to sleep at night. I like peace at night. I don't like the confusion. I think it's terrible. So we got to understand that the word in James 1:5, it says, any man lacks wisdom, let's ask God who, this is James 1:5, who generously to all without a reproach, and it will be given. He will give you that wisdom if you ask. So think about that. Think about that as your day go on with your kids. Oh, these kids about to get on my mind. They're getting on my nerve now. Lord, I need some wisdom right now. I need to know what to do. He will give it to you. But if you get into self, it's not going to work. You're going to end up hitting them, hurting them. They're going to make you madder. Don't let that happen. Those are gifts that God has given you. Beautiful gifts that he has given you. So ask God how to do it. Because we really don't know. There's no manual on how to raise a kid except the Bible. And when you read that manual and you listen to God's wisdom, he will direct you on how to do your children.
Yeah, that is true. That he will direct you how to do your children, and will help you do the right thing. Okay, this time I like to say this to our YouTube audience, and I'd like to say this here that, hey, appreciate you, appreciate you. I thank you for watching in. And another thing is sometimes we have to watch ourselves. As I asked you before, if you like the show and like what you hear, give us a call at 1-877-932-9766. 1-877-932-9766. And we'll be glad for you to take your questions and answers. And if some of the music we play, I hope if you enjoy that, call us at the same number. Let us know, and do the best we can on this show. But getting this wisdom, back to this wisdom, as I said before. Hey, pick up the wisdom, the knowledge, and the love for other people, and whatever comes to you in knowledge and wisdom, take it up, follow up on it, and look on it. And it'll help you a long way, because once you get that wisdom, follow those 3 steps or whatever it is, 3 guidelines or whatever it may be, you will be understand what happened, or you will find out it will work out. Don't try it your way. Let the words of the Lord do it his way, and whatever, because I've done it, tried to do things one way, and then I had said it one way I was going to do it. I said, I ain't going to do it. I'll do it this way. And it still is like it's a force it the way you had it planned first. So you can always overrun plan A and plan B, because if plan B don't work, plan A will.
Right.
So, just be friendly, lawful, and loyal to the words of wisdom, because the words of wisdom will take you a long
Yes, it will.
way.
Yes, it will.
A very long way.
Yes, it will.
And I really, really hope that it will help. That's like it helped me and my wife. It will help you. And just take your time and sit and listen. And if it gets to a point where you get up, just get to yourself and sit there and be quiet for a while.
Yes.
And all that, whatever you hear, and what you hear the Lord talk to you, anyway, it goes on. So listen to the words of wisdom. And also I like to say that, hey, time's getting short. And like I say, whatever you do, be truthful and faithful. The mind is nothing but a garden. Whatever you put in it grows. And don't put no evil thoughts in your mind. See you next time, YouTube.
Bye-bye.